What is going on, everybody? We're back at it again with another CC Football Podcast episode. As always, joined with me today, my esteemed, highly renowned in the footballing world, for his pundit qualities, Craig Castellino. What's going on?
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with you.
Yeah, it is an honor to be here with you, actually. I should say that. But today we have another exciting week of football to recap. We have some exciting Premier League and very important Premier League results, as well as a midweek Carabao Cup semifinal, as well as, last week we started the Sporkle quizzes, and we like those a lot. So we're going to bring those back again. And for those of you guys who do not know, we can be found on YouTube now. It's just called CC Football Podcast on YouTube. So check us out and you'll be able to follow along relatively easily. So it's going to be a good time.
I'm excited about this Sporkle that we found.
Me too.
Should I tell you about it? It's matching the soccer players to the pictures describing their surnames. And
yeah, this was kind of inspired by a little game that us and a couple of our other friends have been going and carrying on for a little bit of time, is where we would send emojis that were people's names, and then people would have to guess who those players were. So this is kind of cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. Let's see. So we have 6 minutes to get 16. Obviously, we haven't been looking at this, so we don't want to cheat. But can you see the timer and everything on your screen?
The timer? No, I just see the top of the screen on the top of the quiz on your screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's try again.
Let's do some technical difficulties.
What now?
Yes, now we see it.
Okay. Awesome. So 6 minutes and we have 16 to get. You ready?
All right, let's do it. Play quiz. And once again, you guys can find us.
Oh, okay. So they gave us a clue. Manchester United, Queen's Park Rangers midfielder.
Okay. I wonder is this going to be like do you think that's describing the top left person?
No. It won't go in order.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Liverpool City attacker.
Liverpool
and City. Sterling. Oh,
yeah.
Sterling.
Yeah, okay, Sterling.
Boom.
Yeah. Manchester United Sunderland defender.
Sunderland.
Oh. Was it my guy here in the background, Phil Jones?
I don't think so. Did he play for Sunderland?
I don't know. Let's skip it.
Move on.
Chelsea Shamrock Rovers attacker.
Well, okay. Let's do it this way. Let's look through their pictures and see what we know. For example, I think this is Stones.
Yeah, that's probably Danny Rose.
Yeah.
The Ireland flag. I'm not sure.
Have someone named Ireland?
Maybe.
Dan Ireland. Walker, maybe.
Yeah.
Or Blind, Daily Blind, because it's a blind man.
Oh, right. Okay.
Cork. Okay, so let's. Oh, Park. I forgot about that one. Here we go. Manchester United QPR defender, Ji-sung Park.
Okay.
Okay.
Manchester City, Stoke City midfielder. Okay, this one.
Oh, I bet this one. Do you think this one's like Partey? Maybe not.
Oh, the beer one, you mean? Oh,
yeah.
The top
right?
No.
This one.
The top right one. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of the Manchester City and Stoke City person. I don't know. Next. Leicester City, Swansea, lone midfielder.
What is this? Texas. Or Austin?
Brown.
Charlie Austin. That's probably it.
Okay.
But I don't know where. Okay, Everton and City defender. That's going to be Stones. Right?
Yeah.
John Stones. Right. Nice. Okay, this is Daily Blind.
Yeah.
Moscow, Milan. Attacker.
Oh, this one's hard. Oh,
Who's this?
I bet the yellow exclamation point is Eden Hazard.
Oh, smart. Nice, nice. Southampton forward. Here we go. Charlie Austin. I think that's him. Let's go.
Nice.
Charlie Austin. Okay.
Lille Chelsea attacker.
Okay. Let's go through because we only have 3 minutes.
Okay.
City
Manchester
and
City.
United. Whoa. Tevez? It's got to be. Who else has done City and United? How do you. Am I missing somebody?
Yeah, I think it should be Tevez. Okay, let's go on next. We know who it is, but we can do it. Okay, so that one's gonna be no, wait, no.
It might be Danny Rose.
Yeah, Danny Rose.
Before this might be old. I don't know.
Danny Rose.
Nice.
Nice. Valencia and
Valencia.
Barcelona forward.
What is this? Okay, moving on, moving on. Blackburn Rovers. I feel like this is the Ireland guy. I don't know who it is. Cork. Is this Swansea City and Southampton? Jack Cork or
Go
whatever?
for it.
I don't know for sure.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Why didn't you click it?
Because we gotta get the ones that we know. I think if we get one wrong, then we get it wrong.
Oh, okay. Chelsea and Shamrock Rovers attacker.
Surely Hazard didn't play for Shamrock Rovers.
I don't think he did, but I have no idea. Wait, are we cycling through the ones that we've already seen now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, go back to previous. Do you think that maybe the Manchester City midfielder? Do you think that could be Keane? Because he is like or not Keane. I mean, it could be Keane.
Well, Keane was United.
Oh, right. Oh, I misread that.
Oh no, House. This is actually harder than I
This
thought.
House Brown is like a king, a car, beer, or like, oh, maybe one of them is like drink water. I don't know.
I was thinking that, but it's beer.
Yeah.
Should we just go for this one?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Oh,
Oh,
it doesn't stop it. Okay.
Okay. Wait, we got that one wrong. Scroll down.
Lille. Did Hazard play for Lille? There we go.
Oh yeah, he did. Hold on.
City.
I think one of them just turned red. Yeah, the king just turned red. Andy King. Okay. I was not gonna get that one. All right, 30 seconds.
Okay. Forward.
Go with. We're gonna start guessing.
Yeah. Okay.
Barcelona forward. I would go with the lawyer judge thing. Nope.
Blackburn.
Oh, that was
David
Villa.
Villa. Oh, how do we miss that one? Southampton. Cork. It's got to be Cork. Yes.
Yeah.
Defender.
Nope.
What
are you doing?
Oh, Dennis.
Okay,
Law.
so the beer was Damien Duff. The lawyer one was Dennis Law. Christopher Samba for the Samba dancers, and then Stephen Ireland for the Ireland thing. Then Wes Brown for the Brown. Okay, those were hard.
Well, some of them. We definitely should have gotten David, Wes Brown. We should have probably gotten Honda as well.
Yeah.
And then
it's okay.
I'm okay. Dennis Law I should have gotten because United. I don't know about Damien Duff and Christopher Samba.
Yeah, some of these people are pretty far-fetched. But we move. Let's do the last one at the last part of the episode. So
okay.
First, I guess we'll talk about something real quickly, is that we're going to try to make our episodes a little bit shorter, starting so a little bit more rapid fire and just kind of getting straight into the point instead of rambling on like we tend to do sometimes. So with that, we're going to try to talk for 2 minutes about each game that we're going to talk about. So First off is Liverpool 2-0 Arsenal. So that sets up a Liverpool versus Chelsea Carabao Cup semifinal.
Do we have a
Carabao Cup final? What?
Do we have a stopwatch?
Yeah, I have my stopwatch here. So I'll move us along when we're good to go. But let's talk about the Liverpool versus Arsenal game. Craig, what were your first impressions on that game?
From which game?
Liverpool versus Arsenal, 2-0.
Um, I mean, I think I don't really know. I mean, think it was a pretty deserved win.
Yeah.
Happy to see Diogo scoring. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have much to say about it. I think Liverpool, they played the game that they were supposed to play and they won the game that they were supposed to win. And Arsenal didn't really look like they were going to win the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, aside from the first, I think Arsenal started really brightly, but then
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry.
And honestly, they had Liverpool on the back foot for the first 15 minutes or so, but then Jota scored on a brilliant run, cutting through the Arsenal defense and then catching Ramsdale wrong-footed and slotting it home. So then Liverpool went up 2-0 or 1-0, and then later in the game he scored again in the 77th minute. So yeah, I thought that was a good win for Liverpool. Tough for Arsenal because I think that was their best chance of getting silverware this season, if not their only chance. If they don't win the FA Cup, but we know that they like a good FA Cup run, so maybe they will secure some silverware. But now the Carabao Cup that Klopp has neglected to place any importance on year after year, now he finds himself in the final, and yeah, good for Liverpool. I think Kelleher did really well. He's kind of brought Liverpool that far into the cup, so I think Klopp already said that he was going to start in the final versus Chelsea, which is, I think, a good choice, considering that Kelleher was not the reason, but he was the keeper up until that point. So got to reward his good performances. But moving on, we just saw Liverpool.
Also, by the way, Arsenal can't win the FA Cup anymore because I think I forgot. They lost to Nottingham Forest in that one.
Oh, right. So, okay, so that was probably their best chance of winning any silverware this entire.
That was a crazy game as well.
Yeah, because they're not going to win the league and they aren't in any European competition. So sucks for them, but there's still a bright season for them. Even though they probably won't win any silverware, I think that there's a lot of positives to be taken from Arsenal so far this year. And this game they weren't expecting to win, so they just gotta chalk it up as a loss that they kind of expected to happen. So we just saw Liverpool win 3-1 versus Crystal Palace, and it was really a game of two halves where Liverpool dominated the first half, and then Crystal Palace came back in the second half. A little bit of tactical tweaks by Vieira, which saw two strikers up front instead of just like a front three. He saw a little bit of two strikers, and they really came out and put Liverpool to the test and pulled one back to make it 2-1. And then later in the game, when Palace were really searching for the equalizer, there was a controversial penalty. Craig, what do you think about that call?
You know what I think? I think that call was, there's no way that's a penalty.
Yeah.
The ball's already passed. The ball's already passed Guaita. And then Jota, to make it even worse. So first of all, the ball's already gone. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to get it anyways. And then he also kind of makes a move towards the keeper after the ball's passed anyway. So it's not really like Guaita kept going and took him out. Guaita kind of went to where he went, and then the clash happened. And I think I don't even think it's soft. I just think it's not even a penalty. But we always say good teams tend to get lucky. And so if Liverpool continues, playing teams and maybe not performing in one half or the other, and they still pull out the win, that's probably worth more than playing really well the whole game and pulling out a win. So from Liverpool's perspective, it's good to get lucky. Obviously, from rival fans' perspective, it's
to be fair, they were already winning, and it's not like that goal I secured the win for them, but it's not like that goal gave them the win. They were already up 2-1 at that point, and it was in the 89th minute, and it did kind of seal the game for Liverpool and for Palace. They secured their defeat, but I don't think that I agree with you that it was very, very, even from my perspective as a big Liverpool fan, I don't think that was a penalty. And if that got called against Liverpool, I would have been pretty upset. But all in all, I think that Liverpool did just enough to get the win, like you said. And, they have survived the period of time when Salah and Mane and Keita are gone in AFCON. they've responded pretty well with players like Ox and Jota, especially stepping up and scoring some important goals. He didn't score today, but it was you see a lot of players on the score sheet in the last few games that you don't see as much when you're so reliant on those two players to produce for you. And good news for Liverpool also is that Harvey Elliott is back in training. So I think that the rumor is that he's going to be fit for after this upcoming international break, which would be another really big return, as he's one of those wonder kids, I guess you could call him, in the Liverpool midfield. So yeah, Craig, 1-0 United beat West Ham in a dramatic fashion with the Rashford late winner. What was your emotions during that?
What a game! What the winner was huge. I mean, actually, that's what my picture is the celebration, even though Marcus's head is cut off a little bit. But I just loved, and there's a video I think I wanted to send it to you, but I didn't send it. But the video of the celebrations after the goal is so you can't watch it and not smile unless obviously you're a rival fan or a West Ham fan, because you see like the passion on Cavani's face. He had just come on. Ronaldo, Bruno, Varane, everyone just going crazy. And it's good to see a team being united and so happy like that. And I think that's why we have to give Ralph Rangnick some credit. He's been under a lot of pressure, obviously, as he should be, because results haven't been going United's way. But he seems to have, been bringing some unity into the dressing room after all the reports of it being split. He's fixed things with Martial. He's back in the team. Who knows how long he'll stay? But Pogba's coming back, which is very exciting for our midfield. And hey, Rashford, 2 goals in 2 games after having a pretty bad season so far, and he's now the no player in Premier League history has scored more 90th minute winners
Really?
Than Rashford. Yeah, so he's
Interesting.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Clutch.
and I think the emotion really speaks to the fact that even United knew that this was a huge game in terms of the top 4 race, because United maintained their spot in 4th position, or actually they jumped
into 4th.
They jumped into 4th position in this game. Now they're 1 point ahead of West Ham with a game in hand on them, and the race for those top 4 spots is really, really tight, as we're going to talk about a little bit later, with some important results breaking for and against some of those teams involved in the race. But
you got to feel for West Ham, though. Like, West Ham played a really good game, and they probably deserved a point from it. But so I definitely do feel for West Ham. It wasn't by any means like a complete dominance on Manchester United at all. There were great chances for both teams.
Yeah, and I think that one interesting note, I think, Ralph has been pretty righteously criticized for his beginning at United. And one thing that is really interesting is we knew that he was going to emphasize youth and youth development when he came in. That's one of his trademarks, and he thinks he likes to buy young players and play young players and develop them. And one player that we really seen benefit from that is Elanga, who has started the last 3 games for United, and he's being preferred right now to the likes of Rashford and all the other attacking players. Like, we've talked a lot about how much depth United have up front, and he has started the last 3 games for them. It's not just like a one-off appearance that he gets subbed on in the 85th minute. Like, he's getting meaningful minutes in these games that are really big.
And he's playing well.
Yeah, and he's played really well, and he's looked bright. So good for him. And I think that those meaningful minutes will pay themselves back later when he is developing quicker and quicker as a result of that. Another interesting and very important result was the City draw versus Southampton. So, Craig, do you think that the title race is back open? Because right now, Liverpool sit 9 points back. However, they have the reverse fixture. So if you assume that, it's a big assumption, if Liverpool win that, it'll be a 6 point back, and they have a game in hand that they could win. So theoretically, the gap could be 3 points between now and the end of the season. I think that it's going to be a far shot. Like, it's going to be a long shot, I think, for us to see the title race that we had anticipated at the beginning of the year. But I think that it's not all done and dusted yet, especially given the draw versus Southampton.
Yeah, so it's definitely not done and dusted. I mean, it's football. Anything can happen. We've seen crazier things happen for sure. For me, the thing is that I don't know. It seems like a bit of an overreaction, because last week, before this game, everyone's like, "Oh, the title race is pretty much over. something huge needs to happen. And I mean, Manchester City, they didn't lose or anything. They drew to Southampton. Yes, they dropped 2 points, but it's amazing to see for me, like how much the perspective shifts immediately. Like once a team draws, like, oh my goodness, now the title race might be blown wide open, and maybe it is. But I think I have to see a bit more from Liverpool, and I need to see Manchester City actually slipping up. I think of course, they drew, so that is an example, but I need to see it consistently. So next week, if they bounce back, then I won't have too much hope for Liverpool, because as we talked about in the Crystal Palace game, Liverpool were brilliant in the first half, and then in the second half they allowed Palace a chance back into the game. And I'm not saying like Liverpool didn't play badly by any means, but Klopp was clearly not happy with the performance, and Crystal Palace took advantage fully. And it's Crystal Palace, it's a mid-table team, and so I think I need to see from Liverpool. They got the win, which is huge. I think I need to see that they're going to be able to see games out and properly dominate games like Manchester City usually do with most of their games, especially against better teams and like Palace and above them as well, before I can say that they're fully back in the race. But mathematically, it's 100%. It's open.
Yeah, it's
no idea what's
open,
going
and
to
I
happen.
think I agree with you.
And
I agree
Salah
with
and
you.
Mane are coming back too.
Right. And I think that City will look at their fixtures coming ahead of them, with Brentford and Norwich being their next two Premier League games, and see those as two really good
Bounce back.
opportunities to bounce back. And we've seen this so many times where City drop points and then the next game they win 6 or 7-0.
6-0.
Yeah. So, and it seems to happen versus Norwich every single time. So we'll see if that happens again. But I mean, I have a sliver of hope. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do have a little
No,
bit
you
of hope
should.
that, that, I mean, you see City go on these runs where they just go like 2 or 3 months of only winning. And I think that it's going to require one of those City-like runs from Liverpool in order to not only challenge City for the title, but win it. And like I said, that's assuming that they beat Liverpool in the reverse fixture, which is a big assumption. So I think that the title race is not as done and dusted as people had said last week, and we might have overreacted a little bit there. However, it's not as wide open as some are saying right now. But hopefully for my perspective and from the neutrals perspective, we'll see a good old fashioned title race going down to the wire. One team that we anticipated at the beginning of the year, we both predicted to win the Premier League, and we stuck with them 10 games into the season. I think when we revisited our predictions, was Chelsea, and they beat Tottenham today 2-0 in a very, very convincing win. Craig, was that a bigger win for Chelsea or a bigger loss for Tottenham?
That was definitely a bigger win for Chelsea, I would say. Just because they needed to win, especially a big game like that, a big team. If they have any hope, like you said, I mean, Liverpool are only 1 point ahead of Chelsea, but they have 2 games in hand on them. So Chelsea are 10 points off of City, and City have a game in hand on Chelsea. So they're pretty far behind. And if they are to have any hope of still being in the title race, they had to win that game, and they had to win it convincingly to give themselves confidence to kind of move on. So it's really, really difficult to see Chelsea being back in the title race, but I think it's a huge win for them. For Tottenham, it is a big loss because there's so many teams fighting for that 4th place spot. But at the same place, I mean, Tottenham are 36 points, but they've only played 20 games. So they have either 2, 3, or 4 games in hand on the teams above them. And so let's assume Tottenham win their games in hand. Let's say they win their 2 games in hand on Manchester United. All of a sudden, they're up 4 points on Manchester United, who are currently in 4th place. And so Tottenham have, because of their mid-season revival, they're in a pretty decent spot already, while Chelsea are in a very bad spot, considering they wanted to win the title, and that's why they needed to win it.
Yeah, especially given their recent blunders. They lost 1-0 to City and also drew versus Brighton 1-1. So this was a pretty big game for them in terms of they needed to reestablish that winning mentality, a little bit of a slip up in form for them the last 2 games. And they dominated the game. I think they could have been up well before Ziyech had that wonder goal. Yeah. You got to say that goal was insane.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, they could have, it was very deserved at that point. Like they could have been up before then. For Tottenham, I think that this is just showing that they have a ways to go in terms of finding the consistency that is needed to be a top side. They are they show flashes, like they play Liverpool and they draw and they looked really good. Like they could have won that game, but then they have games like this where they're just completely on the back foot the entire game. And I think a lot of that might be because of the team selection. Like both for some reason, I mean, I guess for Chelsea, it might be more as a product of uh like injuries and availability and stuff. But both managers who are known for their three at the back formations opted for four back formations. So tactically, it was a lot different than we anticipated going into the game. But performance wise, the Chelsea team dominated, not as we would have expected, because I think that we would have all predicted a little bit of a tighter or more closely contested game. But yeah, I think that tactically it was interesting to see Conte opt for more of like a very, very defensive formation and a very, very defensive team selection. The only attacking player really that he had he only had two attacking players on the whole pitch, which were Kane and Bergwijn. So
Yeah.
and Bergwijn, to be fair, had the historical comeback earlier in the week. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. For you guys who didn't see that, he scored 2 goals in like the 95th and 96th minute of added time to beat Leicester.
It was, yeah, there was 5 minutes of added time and the clock was at 94:50 and they were losing 2-1. So 10 seconds theoretically left in the in the game, and they somehow won the game, which is, I mean,
it was crazy.
Yeah. I almost wish it was like can you imagine if that was similar to Aguero, like on the last day of the league to win it, or even to secure Champions League or something? I wish there was a more momentous occasion, because that would, I mean, it's still going to go down in history. But
yeah, I saw a stat today that was the latest comeback ever in the Premier League. So it started in the 95th minute and then capped off in the 97th minute. And good for him. I think he hadn't scored in a long time for Tottenham, so maybe he'll kick on, and he's been linked to move away from Tottenham this transfer window, but I think that the price after that game rose exponentially. All right, let's move on here. So that's all the important games that we have kind of talked about in rapid fire succession. So let us know if you guys like that more rapid fire format, or if you prefer us to go more in depth. We can do either or. We like to listen to ourselves talk sometimes. So, but now we're gonna look ahead. We haven't had Champions League in almost 2 months now, but in the next coming weeks, it's gonna kick off again, and we have some pretty interesting ties and some not so interesting ties that we have to talk about. So we're going to go through and predict all 8 of the matchups, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But Craig, start us off. I think we can both agree that we're going to predict Bayern over Salzburg, right?
No. Yeah, no. We're gonna do our early predictions, and we might have to adjust them if something big changes in the next month, or some team finds form, or
or if some team makes a big signing and there's still 7 or 8 days left in the transfer window. So it could definitely happen. It could definitely happen. But
yeah, Bayern for sure.
Bayern for sure. And then I think we're both gonna pick City to beat Sporting, right?
Yeah, you've got to. And like I always, whenever we're making these predictions, I always want to pick an upset, and then it comes down to it, and I don't pick any upsets. But yeah, I mean, surely.
Yeah. And then another pretty interesting tie is Benfica versus Ajax. So 2 powerhouses in their respective countries going head to head. Benfica currently are, and let me look here, they are in 3rd in the Portuguese league, sitting 9 points behind Porto. And then Ajax, they are 2 points ahead of PSV Eindhoven and Netherlands. So, Craig, what are you going to go with, Benfica versus Ajax? I'm going to go with Ajax because I think that they're too talented right now. I think that on paper they have a better team, and not only do they have that, but they have a manager who has been linked with seemingly every single big opening that comes available. I think it's just a matter of time that their manager gets his big move, kind of like a lot of their players are going to get their big moves kind of relatively soon. It seems like Ajax every year, that every like 2 or 3 years, they just have this like there's a factory of talent. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think
I
Ten Hag is a really good manager. So I think I'm going to predict Ajax.
Okay, I'll pick Benfica then for two reasons. First, because you picked Ajax, and so this will be more fun. And second, because I mean, I don't know. I was impressed with them both, but I was more surprised, let's say, by Benfica's performances in the group stages, and how they made it through a very difficult group.
Yep.
As did Ajax, and I mean, and Ajax surprised me as well. But just just to make it competitive between you and me, and because Benfica really, really did shock me more than Ajax in a good way, and so I'd love to see them to continue that into that momentum into the knockout stages.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, if you look at the table, Ajax won all 6 of their games, and
That is
the
true. Yeah.
in their group, which had Sporting, Besiktas, and Dortmund. So they couldn't have been any more impressive than that. But I guess you might have expected that more from them. Whereas Benfica, they edged Barcelona they knocked out Barcelona for that second spot in their group. So
I
yeah,
mean, you can't forget too, Ajax led by Aller, he was unplayable in the Champions League group stage. So that is huge for them to have a player who's showing up in Europe. And
definitely.
I mean, he's the top scorer by a long way, I think, in the Champions League right now. So yeah, I mean, you're right. But
Yeah,
I'm
right
gonna
now
stick
he
with
has 10
Benfica.
goals and Lewandowski has 9, and then Nkuku has 7. So
Oh, okay.
him and Lewandowski are going head
Neck
to
and neck.
head for that golden boot. Um, okay, Chelsea versus Lille. I think we're both gonna pick Chelsea here, but Craig, you're gonna surprise me.
No, I'll pick Chelsea. If Lille was doing better, I think they're like 10th place or something in the French league right now.
Yeah, they're really struggling in France right now. They are sitting in 10th, right? Um, yeah, which to be fair, they're only 3 points behind the team in fourth, but
Well,
yeah, they're not really.
they're struggling domestically more than you would think, for for recent champions, and they, yeah, I mean Chelsea have also been struggling, but not to the same extent, and in a more competitive league, and maybe this win over Tottenham will inspire them to confidence in the next few weeks. And also Tuchel has shown, I mean, they're the defending champions. They have experience, they have European experience
Yep.
as a club, as a team now, and definitely as a coach. So I'll go with them.
All right. To round out the maybe less exciting ties, we have Villarreal versus Juventus. Juve.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Spanish teams, I always tend to prefer Spanish teams in Europe because they do well in Europe. And Villarreal just beat Manchester United in the Europa League last year.
Yeah, you have
Um,
the taste in your mouth, but they are 7th right now in La Liga. And to be
I mean,
fair,
Juventus
Juventus
aren't
are in
doing great.
5th. They're in 5th in Serie A. So
Yeah,
neither team are like super convincing this year. I just
just
think
for fun, I'm gonna pick Villarreal.
okay.
I want to pick one upset, and this is gonna be it.
I'm gonna choose Juventus, but I'm gonna be pulling for Villarreal. I'm gonna hope that I'm wrong here.
Nice.
That I think I love seeing every year there's one team, it seems, that makes a magical run into a later stage that nobody expected them to be. So maybe it'll be Villarreal this year beating
I'm gonna
Juventus.
predict a. I'm gonna predict the Benfica Villarreal Champions League final.
Wow, that's a bold
No, I'm
prediction.
just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, Atleti versus Man United.
You
Tough
go first on this one
draw.
because it's my
Oh
take.
man, this is a tough draw for United, and I think that aside from the fact that they have their new manager, man, I really don't know who to pick because Atleti have played. I've seen my decent share of Atletico in the Champions League recently, as they've knocked out Liverpool, and they also were in their group this year. So we've played them a decent amount, and they're just a stingy team, and they never go away. Simeone is he was one of the best managers in the league. I think that in the world, and he kind of his reputation has taken a hit recently, or in the past couple of years. Like he was considered one of the best managers in the past few years, but then recently he's fallen down a little bit. But either way, he's still a
Well, I
good
mean, he did
manager.
win the league last year.
No, I know, but I'm saying that like I know that, but I'm saying that in terms of like when you were talking 3 or 4 years ago of the best managers in the world, he would have been
Yeah,
up there, and now he's not in that conversation. But he's still a very good manager.
yeah,
Um, and I just think Atleti are just one of those teams that you don't want to play against in a two-legged
yeah.
tie, where you could see them nicking a goal in the first leg and then sitting on it for 180 minutes or however long the game goes after that. And I haven't been that convinced by Ralph's United teams ever since he came in, and I don't really. I think he's still kind of searching for his preferred 11, his preferred play style and stuff. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with Manchester United, but I mean, this is a coin flip for me, honestly, where I could see both teams winning on any day.
Yeah.
I just think that United's attacking, as we said, their attacking output might be enough um to push them through in this round. However, their defensive instability, as we've seen sometimes, could come back to bite them. But I'm going to go with Manchester United. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have to pick United, and I would just because, like you said, I mean, definitely been inconsistent since Ralph's come in. But the last two games, beating Brentford 3-1, and then beating West Ham in a really exciting game that we showed grit and determination to get the win at the very end. That's going to be huge confidence boosters. And in the last couple of games, more players are on the up than on the down, which was not the case before those two games. Rashford's back in form, hopefully. Cavani's doing well every time he plays. Bruno, I mean, he got you like 30 points or something in your
Yeah,
fantasy
he did last week.
last
Yeah.
two games, so he's back in form. Fred and McTominay have had good moments as well. Pogba's coming back. Elanga is new. Greenwood, haven't seen too much of him recently, but you get the point. The point is more players are on the up than on the down, and so hopefully that trend continues over the next month leading up to that game. And yeah, I mean, but I could definitely see a Simeone masterclass. I am glad we're facing them and not PSG, which was our initial
Yeah.
draw.
What a blunder by UEFA though to
Yeah,
when they botched the first draw, so they had to like redo it and stuff. And so some teams, maybe like United, got a little bit of an easier draw, and some teams like Real Madrid had a tougher draw. As they're now going to be facing PSG. So let's talk about that game. I guess nice little segue into that. So Real Madrid, PSG, two heavyweights, two world, global, international, European heavyweights going head to head. You see Messi versus Real Madrid once again. Who are you going to back here?
so I'm laughing because I was keeping up with the scores as we were discussing, and PSG literally 5 minutes ago I checked and they were up 1-0 in their game against Rhyme, and now they're up 3-0. So that's not really relevant to what we're talking about, but both teams, first place in their respective leagues. I'm gonna pick Madrid because they're doing very well. They're top place in the league by like 4 or 5 points. Benzema has been unplayable. Same with Vinicius Jr. Their midfield, even though it's growing old, Modric is still, Cruz still on top of their game. They've been really good this year. And um yeah, I Hazard recently scored, so hopefully he's, maybe he's gonna go on a run.
Probably not.
But I I just think they have a lot more experience as a club, as players, and PSG has a lot of experience of losing in Champions Leagues. And so, Pochettino's not as experienced as Ancelotti, and yeah, Messi hasn't really showed up yet for PSG. I don't know. I mean, you can't really come up with a full logical reasoning, but I just think Real Madrid have got a little bit more than PSG. They're one of the best teams in the world right now.
Can you imagine what the media would say if PSG had Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, and they were out in the round of 16 of the Champions League?
No, I mean, I can't, and that's why and for me, it's a very, very real possibility because, like I said, Ancelotti is one of the greatest and most successful managers of the modern era. He knows European football. He knows football in general, And
Yeah.
Pochettino is also a great manager, but one who hasn't yet really achieved anything to cement himself into.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that Real Madrid's experience is gonna pull through, and they're more of a cohesive unit than PSG. You
Definitely.
know, a lot of times we've talked about how United are sometimes they just appear as if they're a bunch of individuals out there. And for what I've seen as PSG, a lot of times when they face adversity, they tend to crumble a little bit. Especially in the Champions League, how they can self implode sometimes. And even though they have the best front three in world football, I think that their lack of continuity in terms of these three players haven't really played that much together this year in terms like because they've all been injured throughout the time, and Messi hasn't started his PSG career as he would have liked. I'm going to back Real Madrid also, and I think that, but once again I think this is another coin flip where you can never really rule PSG out when they have those players and they have all these world class top to bottom defenders and world class. I mean, if you have to poke a hole in any of their players, would be in the midfield. They don't have the same midfield that Real Madrid do, where the Casemiro, Cruz, and Modric trio that has dominated not only Spain but even the world football for so long. I think that PSG are going to have a really tough time controlling the midfield, and with that, a tough time winning this two-legged tie. And then, so lastly, Liverpool versus Inter. Craig, I'll let you let me predict the Manchester United one first. I'm while you predict Liverpool one.
Um, yeah, I mean, I again, I think I have to predict. Well, I don't have to, but I think I'm going to predict Liverpool just because I've already picked my fair share of upsets. I've already picked two. I think Benfica also counts as an upset. Um, so I think I need to hedge my bets here and go with the safer option, which is Liverpool. I mean, Inter, don't get me wrong, very good team, achieved success recently. They're hopefully on the up and up.
And they're
How are they
still
doing, by
first in
the way, in the
Serie
league?
A.
How are they doing in the league?
They're still first.
They're still first in the league, even though they've lost Lukaku. So and they've had some recent good moments with my boy Alexis Sanchez scoring a huge winner. But I mean, I'm just gonna go with Liverpool because it's a safer bet. Salah and Mane will will be back by then. They've, like you said, managed to survive without them. They had a huge win, today or yesterday was it now? So hopefully they're going to take confidence from that and yeah, move on.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to back Liverpool here. So just to recap, we have been unanimous in all but two of our predictions. So we have Bayern beating Salzburg, City beating Sporting. I have Ajax beating Benfica, and you have Benfica beating Ajax. Then we have Chelsea beating Lille, Manchester United versus Atleti. We both backed Man U. I picked Juventus, and you picked Villarreal, and then we both picked Liverpool and Real Madrid to beat Inter and PSG respectively. So some
So
really
basically
interesting
you made all
games.
the safe bets and
I did not. I made the right bets. I'm not going to choose something just because I have to. I follow logic. That's what I
Okay,
do.
well,
I follow
we'll see.
logic. We'll see. We'll see. But I follow logic, and I bet that. I mean, I would love to see um, a Cinderella story happen in the Champions League. We see it every year. It's going to happen, but I just don't know who it's going to be, and it's hard to predict. Like it's hard to predict that those type of teams coming out of nowhere and upsetting some monster team. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Salzburg beating Bayern and then going deep. But that's what the Champions League, the games will show us is who's who and who's good and who's not.
Yeah, that should be your new motto. Who's good and who's not? CC Football Podcast.
I like it.
Is it Sporkle time?
Let's do it. Sporkle time, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, another fun one.
Can you name
the two soccer clubs whose logos have been mixed together? So we did relatively poorly in the last one. Well, not because it was a tough one.
Hey, wait, I gotta be honest. I've been pretty disappointed with our Sporkle performances. Even last time we did pretty poorly, and I think that we're like relatively knowledgeable about football, and we have not performed up to our standards.
It's
We have
time
not
pressure.
performed to our potential. This is the one where we're gonna be, we're gonna get it.
We got to get 100%.
Let's do it.
All
And
right.
just so you guys know, just a reminder, you can follow us on YouTube or subscribe on YouTube. CC Football Podcast will be easy to follow along. This one's going to be especially important for you guys to follow along on YouTube. So if you haven't, if you're listening on Spotify or wherever, switch over right now and give us a little subscription. Click the subscribe button, maybe even the bell to get notified whenever we post a
Whoa.
podcast. Yeah. And then watch us after that, after you do those two things, watch us ace this Sporkle quiz right here.
Here we go. All right. 20 answers, 8 minutes on the clock. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Starting off with an easy one. Well, how do we
This
do
one-
this?
I think you just typed the two teams. So
Or wait, AC Milan. How do I do this?
AC Manchester United and AC Milan.
Oh, I typed them both like this.
I don't know. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I type an and in between.
Okay. So this is going to be PSG and is that Florentina? I think it's Florentina. There we go. No. It's PSG and somebody.
That is true. Okay, skip. Okay, this is. Oh no, it's so hard to. Okay, so Leicester and. Oh, I know it, but I can't guess when there's so much going on. Can I like cover the Fox? Bayern.
There we
Okay.
go. Barcelona and Real Madrid. That one's easy. That's gonna be Liverpool and Olympiacos.
Nicely done.
Okay, Bayer Leverkusen and Bruges. Is that Bruges? It looks like Bruges, like the middle.
You think? I thought it was Dortmund.
Oh, maybe it's Dortmund.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Roma and Wolves.
and Wolves.
Marseille.
And that's gonna be
Is that Sporting FC? What's the SFC?
I have no idea. It's like a South American team.
South American, Sao Paulo, Santos.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Celtic.
Rangers and Celtic.
Nice.
Juventus and
What is it?
oh man. That one's
feel like-
tricky.
I feel like I know it, but we'll skip it for now. Okay,
Okay.
this is easy.
Ajax and Atleti. Nice. That one's gonna be Watford and that one might be Florentina.
Are you sure it's Florentina, not Fiorentina?
No.
There we go.
There we go.
Fiorentina. Nice. You know you're Fiorentina. PSV.
PSV and that's gonna be Arsenal.
The Gunners. Nice. Okay, this is
Inter and
easy.
Everton.
Okay, 5 minutes left and 12 or 8 to go.
Okay, nice. Crystal Palace and Stoke.
Oh, okay.
Swansea and
Is that
what's that
Cardiff?
German team? No.
Oh,
And it's a German team.
which one? Schalke?
No. Is it like Hamburg? Nice.
Wow. I don't know how you knew that.
Norwich and West Ham. Nice.
Derby.
Derby and
Arte et labore.
what is that? That's Latin.
Yeah, but the Latin is used with every motto. Oh, I don't know this. 1875.
Oh, Blackburn Rovers.
Wow.
Oh.
Well done.
Schalke. Oh no. Not Schalke. Wait, is it Schalke?
I don't know.
It's one of the Turkish teams. And Basel. I think it's Basel. 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 And no. Is it Fenerbahce?
How do you spell Galatasaray? Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll come back to it. Okay, this is
Spurs
easy.
and Villa.
Oh,
Okay,
we're
so
back.
okay, so we have three or four to go, and then 3 minutes. Okay, PSG. That one's PSG and oh man, go to the next one.
I feel like I know that one. Oh, I definitely know this one. It's just not coming to me.
Uh,
I'm gonna cycle through them. We can think.
okay,
This one you feel like you know.
it's Basel. I know it's Basel. Basel,
Okay.
and it's gonna be one of the Turkish teams. So
Can
like,
I'm allowed to look up the spelling, surely.
yeah.
I think I tried that. Fenerbahce. So it's not Fenerbahce. I tried Istanbul. It's not that. Galatasaray. Okay.
Am I it might not be a Turkish team.
You said Schalke, but that's not it.
No, that's not it. It's not it. That's the German team. Oh man.
So, to be fair, 17 is not bad. I'm
No,
pretty
no,
happy
we're gonna
with
get
it.
100.
Okay. I I think I know the PSG one, but I can't. Oh, where? What is it? Um. Oh no. By the way, for all the viewers, put the answers in chat if you know it.
Yeah.
We can test you guys as well. But uh, I keep
What was
thinking
it?
of.
Chelsea?
Is it? Wow.
Ah,
On oh the Chelsea the football club at the bottom should have given it away.
yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't have gotten that. I'm not even gonna act like I would have. What's this?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm stuck on the orange logo in the middle. Uh,
Hmm.
who is that?
It says 1936. Wait, it's got
Oh,
hammers like West Ham, but that's not West Ham.
no, no, no.
Why has it got those irons?
Oh man, 30 seconds left. We're gonna be kicking ourselves.
This is tough. I don't think I will be. Maybe for this one I will be, because this one looks like I know it.
Oh man, and maybe it's a Russian team. Okay, 8 seconds, seven.
Oh, it's
Fulham.
Fulham.
Oh
Oh,
no. What was the other one?
I knew that I knew it. Okay, where how do I go to the next one? Um, here we go. Ready? Oh, it's
Oh,
Shakhtar.
it was Basel
Yeah, Basel was right. I mean, you were pretty confident about Basel.
and Shakhtar Donetsk. What is
Yeah,
that?
that's
What
where
team
I've
is
seen
that?
it. Hmm.
Where are they from?
Shakhtar is from, I want to say Ukraine.
Ukraine. Oh, all right. Well, it wasn't Turkish. That's why we were firing blanks there. But dang,
Yeah,
we could have
they're
gotten
Ukrainian.
100% there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we definitely could have. Oh, I can't believe I didn't get Fulham.
Yeah, that's
It's
bad.
okay. That's probably our best performance so far in a Sporkle.
Probably,
See,
probably.
the average score is 67.
Yeah, but we could have gotten 100.
We got to take our wins where we get them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll maybe try to best it. Well, one day we'll get 100% on a Sporkle. We're just keeping you guys waiting for it.
Next week. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen next week.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for us.
Hey,
Well,
to be fair to us, we could have picked. We could have picked What is it? This one?
Oh yeah, soccer name players by first name. So that one would have been easy. We're challenging ourselves. Is what we're saying. We're trying to find hard ones where we don't always win, and we're properly challenged, and you guys are properly entertained. So let us know what you guys thought about the new format of our recap in the comments, and we will catch you guys next time.